we should bring everyone, because we're a couple of minutes away from qualifying here, we should bring everyone up to date on the championship standings, which look a little bit like this. Joe Manning has been the driver to beat, it must be said, so far in TCC. The American has been on the podium in, I think, every race of the 6 rounds that we've had so far. So that is no mean feat. And he's going to take some stopping from the chasing pack.
Yeah, he certainly is. It's he's correct in saying that he's been on the podium every race. Very consistent, hence why he's topped the pack. But we've seen as many drivers in this field who can spring a surprise and certainly be up there with them. So all it takes is one mistake, one error, and this is a track where you could do it. But one of those mistakes and that 27-point gap to the light body has certainly suddenly shrunk. So we'll soon find out.
It's it's a Scottish and a Welsh. I was going to say an old British front row. Technically, yes, but they go by Scottish and Welsh as opposed to British. Tom Lightbody in 4th. That's a great position to try and do something in this race. But here we go then. Getting underway. It'll be a rolling start, so we'll come through the final 2 corners. And then we will get the action underway here from Zandvoort. It's McDermott on the inside, Povey on the outside in the Tesco Rich Energy liveried car. And then Kevin Nordermeer and Tom Lightbody the 2nd row, Harkema and Manning the 3rd row, Actonese and Dog the 4th, and then Jinx on debut in P9 alongside Lewis Williams in 10th position. It's a fairly long run before we get to the green flag line here. So we'll have to hang on and hang on and hang on. And there's the green flag. We are away for race 1 here in Zandvoort. It's a good start for McDermott. Harkema looking to the inside here in the Nihon Falcon racing car and looking to go all the way up to P3 into turn 1. Joe Manning's on the inside as well. And that is a great move from the championship leader. I think that was Jinx off in the background. But other than that, it seemed fair enough. Oh, and off at the back there is Garley. And to be honest, towards the back of the field, it's very, very messy indeed.
Yeah, so a great start. They're still going three wide through the hairpin onto the back straight at the moment. With it looks like Lightbody who's getting bullied around a little bit, but yeah, up the front, good start from the front row. And Hawk made a great attempt on the inside. Being made it 3 wide, but good start from Hawk. And see if he can make any progress.
Poor start for Lightbody here. He's under pressure from Lewis Williams, who's made a great start. He's gone up from 10th to 7th here, and already pressuring the Scotsman. Just behind these, we have got Dog, who's gone backwards. Buffonius is on the outside here into the right-hander, and that is Oscar Sumner just ahead of this pair. Dog's going to stick it out around the outside here, but looks like Booth's got the move done. Up at the front, McDermott leads, and he's already stretching his legs.
He is, as Hawk's going down the inside for P2 on Povey, which now is just going to be the outside on the second part of chicane. But yeah, this is good news for Hawk. He's got a bit of pace at the start of this race.
In the background, Williams and Lightbody were fighting there, and Lightbody's held on to that position. Lightbody really struggling in the early part of this race. He's already a long way back from the front group, but it's the fight between Povey and Harkema that's the one to watch.
Yeah, Povey's had a not a bad first lap by any means, but he seems to be struggling for pace at the moment. I wonder whether Hawks can go on the inside. He's certainly had a look, but nothing to do in there. But yeah, it's allowed Conor McDowell to open up a 1.4 second lead on the first lap alone. So we'll see if Povey can pick up his pace, or whether he's going to be a coke in the bottle for the drivers behind him.
I don't know what's happened to Williams here, but he's lost positions. He's gone backwards here. I'm going to pop to the replay and see if I can spot what's gone on. But he's lost out to Sumner here, for whatever reason, coming out of the final corner and into turn 1. So, is this a potential dive on Lightbody? No, cuts back in. Oh, and he's late on the brakes and has to get out of it and into the gravel trap. That explains that. So
yeah, it just looks like just looked like he misses braking point, sort of jinked back in, and obviously must have just missed his marker board.
Oh, that was Hark running wide. We just caught that on the end of the replay there. Hark ran wide into the wall at turn 3, and Manning forces his way through. Joe Manning up into the podium places yet again.
That's a shame for Hawk. That's he's done all good work so far, but he's just let it slip a little bit, and he's let Joe through. But we'll see if he comes on the counter attack and see if we can try and get him back. But nothing doing in the chicane. Although he's made another mistake, he's just got a little bit of a snap oversteer hitting the curbs. That scores Nordemir behind him to back off, because I think Nordemir must have thought he might have been running the back of him. But yeah, Hawk just needs to keep himself sort of calm, and he can potentially make places back up again.
Oscar Sumner has potentially gone backwards a little bit here as well. He was running up in the top 10 before and is now down in P15, so not sure what happened there. Meanwhile, there's a fight here between Oscar Jinks and Brad Spitt. As there's a bit of movement. That's Williams moving to the inside a little bit further up the road. This is the fight between Jinks and Spitt as they come down towards Tarzan for the third time. So Actonese now up into 7th position. And going all right, the Turkish driver. Williams has had a lively one so far, but still in a decent position, Dan.
Yeah, he's it's obviously that midfield pack has always been fairly close to each other. So yeah, there's always action going on between that sort of middle gaggle of cars. But up at the front, McDermott has stretched his lead to Povey. He's now over 2 seconds. Manning is right on the back of Povey here. So whether Povey's just not got a good race setup here, or whether he's just sort of biding his time a little bit, trying not to use the tyres too much. But at the moment, yeah, Joe's right on the back, and there's going to be a potential overtake coming down the chicane.
Yeah, he's thinking about it. Is he going to dive to the inside? No, thinks better of it this time around. Nordemir is putting Hark under all sorts of pressure in the background as well. So McDermott, Povey, Manning, the top 3 as it stands. And now Tom Lightbody beginning to get his head down and try to make up the gap towards Nordemir in P5. He's stretching the gap to Actonese behind. Yeah,
there's a bit of a gap between the top 5 and Lightbody, but yeah, like you said, Lightbody's just has been able to sort of follow these front 5 away and broke away from Actonese and Williams. But we'll see if he can catch on the back of them. But I suppose you'll need a little bit of help from the guys in front. We'll see Nordemir with a half a move down the inside of Hawk, but stays behind.
Thought about it, decided better of it. I mean, Povey, great qualifying pace. It's not quite working out so far in race trim. And Joe Manning looks right on it. Nordemir almost into the back of Harkema there. These two nose to tail through turn 3. 4? Turn 3 or 4, whichever one that is.
It'll technically class that as turn 4, but Williams was having a bit of a battle with Actonese behind coming out of turn 1. And I wasn't able to get the job done, but yeah, those two are having a good battle with each other as well.
Nordemir in the Slanesh themed car, Cult of Pleasure. One for the Warhammer fans there. And, he started on the second row. That's Manning going down the inside of Povey for P2.
Yeah, I was coming. Povey's, yeah, he looks like he's been, I wouldn't say struggling, but certainly not as fast as...
Nordemir with a moment in the background there. Sorry to interrupt, Dan.
That's right.
Nordemir just getting a bit of a oversteer moment, and is now suddenly going to be defending from Lightbody into the chicane.
Yeah, it's a problem with getting a bit of oversteer just before, snap bit of oversteer before it's straight. You lose all that momentum going down the next straight. So yeah, he's went from attacking Hawk to now be potentially defending from Lightbody. But Lightbody, whilst we're singing his praises last lap, he's went and lost quite a lot of time on his next lap, and has fallen back in the clutches of Actonese and Williams.
Povey's not exactly being dropped immediately by Manning here, and Conor McDermott now stretching that lead to almost 3 seconds. Jeffrey Nordermere has retired the car. Manning's gone off at turn 1. Manning has missed his braking point. At turn 1, he's gone wide. And Povey and Hakim are going through. That's the first mistake we've really seen from the championship leader.
Yeah, that's he's managed to get away with it though. Yes, he's lost 2 positions, but he's managed to sort of minimise the damage that he could have done. He managed to obviously keep the car pointing in the right direction. So again, he's just got to have keep his head down here, get back in the rhythm. But yeah, Hawk is trying to have a go at Povey now as he runs a little bit wide through the right hand there. So yeah, the battle for the podium places isn't quite done, but this is all just helping McDermott just stretch his lead. It's now over 4 seconds to P2 at the moment as he's just taking a command and lead at the moment. But yeah, Joe is right on the back of Hakim and looking to try and make amends for that mistake at turn 1.
If you need ACC selling to you, this is the beauty of it. It's not like F1 where it's one line all the way through. These cars are all over the road, trying to find any amount of time they can. And this is Manning to the outside of Hakima, who's quite deep on the brakes. He's going to run wide and back onto the circuit. Just avoids running into Joe Manning, who is through. Hakima out braking himself there.
Yeah, it's always going to be a difficult one for Hawk on the inside, trying to brake late on a very tight apex. I think Joe was trying to set Hawk up for that and got the rewards from it. Good job he didn't get taken out on the exit though, because that could have been the only sort of bad outcome for Joe there. But yeah, nice move by him. So yeah, now going to be chasing Povey down again for P2.
We've been saying all season that McDermott's got a lot of pace, but just needs to keep out of trouble. Well, the easiest way to keep out of trouble is to just run around in the lead of the race. The gap now 4.6 seconds with all of that fighting going on between everybody else. Meanwhile, we've got a fight here between Barack Kuma and Oscar Jinks over P11. These two just fighting it out into the left-hander of turn 4 and then up over the hill.
So yeah, so looking down at light body, they've got light body Actonese and Williams haven't, are still kind of all glued together, the 3 of them. It's probably one of the closest battles on the track at the moment. And a bit of a gaggle from Povey all the way down to, well, I'll probably say down to Williams in 8th place, but yeah, those 3 haven't been separated by much all the race so far.
The driver lighting up the timing screens green is Nordermere, who's on a personal best lap this time around. Seems to be getting into the rhythm now, the Dutch driver. Right on the back of Hakima. If there's any mistakes between this lot, that light body Actonese Williams group is in position to get involved here. But look at the pace that Nordermere has got now. He's all over the back of Hakima. Yeah,
it's almost as like he's switched the tyres on us, and it's just now lighting up the timing screens a little bit. But yeah, looking back up, we've got Povey's defended slightly from Joe. Manning got into turn 1 into Tarzan, but nothing going there. But Joe is right on the back of the exhaust pipes of Povey for P2 at the moment as they go into the hairpin, but nothing doing there either.
Trying to find that alternate line, isn't he, to get a run as we go over the straight. There's a bit of a slide as we come out of turn 4. Manning wringing the neck of that BMW M2.
I think he's going to try and do something similar to Hawk, I would suspect. He's going to try and set Povey up for a move, whether he forces Povey to defend his line and maybe try and take a faster route round. But we'll see what he's like coming through the infield section of this racetrack.
Conor McDermott's lead now 6.1 seconds. This is one of the most dominant performances we've seen from any driver so far in the TCC. He is miles clear at the front.
Yeah, and he's setting lap times that are very consistent. The last couple of laps he's been 150.9s. So it's consistent. That's why he's got such a lead for. But we'll see Joe now going down the inside into the chicane. Is he going to get the move done, or is he going to let Povey run wide?
Povey leaves plenty of space, but he hangs it out. He's now on the inside, and a little bit of door banging there. That stuff's all good in the TCC, and Joe Manning will have to try again.
Yeah, that was a good opportunist move from Joe. That was, like I said, he was trying to set Povey up there for a pass, but Povey's getting his elbows out. It seems like it's going to be when, not if, at the moment, as Joe's got a good run down the start-finish straight. He's got such good, great straight line speed in that car, as he's going to go down the inside of turn 1, is he?
Yeah, looking that way. Manning to the inside as they go into Tarzan. Povey's looking for a switchback, but Manning does well to brake on the apex and stop any chance of that happening there.
So Povey's now going to be under pressure from Hawk straight away. Obviously, that battling has allowed Hawk to catch up the pair of them, so Povey's going to have to be eyes in his mirrors for Hawk behind them. But yeah, nice move from Manning. Good sort of hard, clean racing is what we're after.
So it's a Team KRO 1-2, and technically Povey's a satellite team of that organisation as well. Harkima, you can see running a little bit wide, kind of wall of death stuff there around the outside of 7. But hanging on to it. But again, this is the beauty. There's no aero on these cars, really. And Hark having a huge moment there.
Yeah, he's ran deep into the next bend. He's just got to get himself composed. This is one of the, I was talking about earlier on, this is one of the racetracks that if you make a mistake, it's not going to be long until you find a wall or a gravel trap, and Hawk's doing his damnedest to see if he can stay out of them at the moment. He's letting the door open for Nordemir to come and have an attack on him rather than Povey, but Povey's went off in the chicane. He's straight lined it.
He's recovered okay, but that's cost him time. Joe Manning will scamper clear for P2 now. We've got 5 minutes left in this race. That's probably around 3 laps.
That was 3. This group, Nordemir is the one who hadn't made any mistakes yet, so the 2 in front of him are a little bit scrappy at the moment. Don't know whether that's tyre related or whether it's just a bit of fatigue, perhaps. Mental fatigue, just losing a bit of concentration. But yeah, Nordemir could be one who could be picking up a podium place here if he keeps on his racetrack, as he's a little bit deep into turn 1 as I say that, so I best not give him the commentator's curse.
I think what has been said, as we see Lewis Williams having a fight with Acton, he's there in the background. These two have been scrapping it out for a little while now. But especially around this track, these cars, it's so difficult to not make a mistake in these cars. I think that's been the common theme from everybody throughout the Discord server this week. And as I say that, Acton runs a little wide out of turn 4.
Yeah, it's not one of these racetracks where you've just got miles of runoff. It's grass leading straight into gravel traps, so it's you've got to really keep it between the white lines, as you should do every weekend, but even more so here, that you can't really afford to make that mistake.
So McDermott's lead now 7 seconds at the front, and he's looking almost certain to win this race. Joe Manning now has a couple of second cushion over MJ Povey in the final podium spot. Harkima 4th, Nordemir in 5th position.
Yeah, so Povey's kind of gotten himself together. He's currently on his personal best lap at this current stage of the race. So he's so it's all coming good for him at the end, as we see Hawk a little deep into the chicane. That's causing that's got Nordemir looking for P4 there. So we'll see how they come out of the penultimate corner, whether Nordemir can get a good run on Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk a little scrappy on the curb there, and then a little wide over the exit. So possibly not ideal, though. He seems to have a good run on Nordemir.
Yeah, Nordemir. Yeah, Nordemir had he tried to take too much curb on the inside and just and kind of tighten the line up for himself. So any advantage that he could have gained, he lost it all. I think trying to be too greedy on the curbs.
Williams is going to send one here on Acton. Williams going up the inside in car 96, and he is through. Acton just got onto the grass at the exit of the final turn, and that gave Williams the run he needed down the start-finish straight.
Well, I think Williams has been sick of staring at the back of that back of Acton's car. He's finally made a move. Those two have been pretty much nose to tail for the entire of this race. So Williams finally made his move. So let's see if he can catch up to Lightbody make a move for P6.
2 minutes to go. There'll be 1 lap to go after this one, which means it'll be an 11-lap race. And Conor McDermott, he's lost about half a second to Joe Manning, but it's in hand. Nothing silly right now, and this will be a first win of the season for the Scotsman.
Yeah, he's just been ultra consistent. I've been keeping an eye on his lap times, and the last lap was probably the only time that he's really been more than 2/10 outside of his best lap time. So it's been a dominant race to this point for Conor. Let's see if he can bring it home.
There's a fight at the back here between Raymond de Boer and James Struthers that we can check in on here as they go up the hill. That's going to get spicy into the right-hander, and Struthers thinks better of that one. Yeah, the livery on De Boer's car possibly influencing the decision-making of the Scotsman behind him there.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
So last lap of the race for Conor McDermott here in Zandvoort race 1. We've got 2 races to go after this one, of course, so Dan will be firing up the Wheel of Destiny as to who will be on pole for race 2 fairly soon. Up in the midfield, it's all happening here still, with Tom Lightbody in P6, now under pressure from Lewis Williams, who really does have a lot of pace in that white and yellow Team Sebia car.
Yeah, Williams had a little bit of a moment. I was sitting on board with him after he passed Acnes. He had a little bit of a moment in turn 7, but he's really just been fired out of cannon ever since then. He's caught right up the back of, as you say, back of Lightbody. So let's see if we can make a move on the final lap as they come through turn 7 now. And he's ran a little bit wide. I don't know whether that's just his usual line, but yeah, it seems to be doing well for him at the moment.
Watching this fight at the back. Great scrap between De Boer and Struthers here. It's still side by side in turn 1. Stealing a bit of airtime at the end of the race, and Struthers looks to have that one done. Though they're side by side. Coming up to turn 3 now. And the B&M car is through. Great fight though. Meanwhile, it's looking like it's probably going to be status quo now to the end of this one. Unless Lewis Williams here fancies a Dan Dare move to the inside of the chicane. Not looking that way. So, with all said and done, Conor McDermott is coming out of the final corner now. And it's been a dominant display from the Scotsman. For the first time this season, Conor McDermott wins in FRS Touring Car Championship.
The leader has finished the race.
What a great drive from the Scotsman there. And he'll be delighted with that one. In the background, you can see Williams there onto the grass.
Yeah, Williams has got such a massive run on Lightbody out of the penultimate corner, but in trying to hang it around on the outside, he caught the marbles, and obviously when we caught him, he was running up the grass and lost all that momentum. But yeah, great race from Williams, P7. But yeah, don't take anything away from Conor McDermott. That was a one dominant victory.
That was a great result. Lights the flag. You can't really ask for more than that, can you? From McDermott. It was a good race behind. There was lots of... It wasn't like Silverstone where it was sort of overtake after overtake after overtake in that one. But there was still plenty of action going on throughout the field. So, bodes well. I think certainly for race 2 and 3, where we'll see some of these cars perhaps... well, obviously we're going to rearrange some of the cars and then come back for another go.